Okay, here's a Tec Omni 6. This radio has been giving me grief for a long time. I've replaced all the capacitors in this IF board. In fact, every capacitor in this board is now a Chinese communist capacitor from Bojack. So I suspect that this IC component here is bad. That's the audio amplifier. I have a new one here, which I'm going to try and stuff in there, so wish me luck. The first thing we got to do is get that IF board out of the radio, which this is probably my 5th time doing it, and am I good at it? Not really, but anyway. So first pull off all these wires without wrecking the sticker on them. So just start pulling off wires and be mindful of the stickers. You don't want to jostle them off. There are a bunch of wires. All right, and the black coaxial wires, you want to pull those out too. Make sure they're all out. And then get the power wire down here. Input, get it out. Get this one out. Okay, and when this board comes out, it will want to come out this way. So you'll want to get the screws out and slide the board out. So let's get to it. There's screws in all the corners and there's one in the middle. So here's the middle screw here. Get that one out. And I just pull these off with needle nose. The board is harder to get back in, of course, than it is getting it out. I guarantee you that. Anyway, this radio has been painful with this board. It has audio that comes and goes, gets all staticky. I replaced all the capacitors thinking that would fix it. No dice on this, so anyway, I don't know if this will fix it. So the 4066 can also go bad. This is like an audio switching chip here, but well, throwing money at it, throwing parts at it. I think I spent 15 bucks for 4 of those chips, for 4 of the audio output chips. So we'll see where the parts land, or where the chips land, or where things land. Okay, one more screw here, and this board comes out. Then you try and slide the board toward the side of the radio and get it the heck out without breaking anything. Jeez, okay, that's out. All right, see if it's loose. Yep, it's loose. Okay, pull it out. You can grab these little cans carefully, or grab this chip and just yank it out. Pull it up and get the wires to clear and just get it the heck out of here. Whoop, forgot one wire there, see that? Pull that one out, make sure they're all off. I don't see anything now still attached. All right, let's pull it out. You got to clear the wires all off and wiggle it. Make sure nothing gets stuck. And out comes the board, I hope. Just make sure nothing catches. It's harder to get back in, believe me. There, this little part here can be a real pain. It'll get stuck on this part. Okay, the board's out, so now we're gonna unsolder all this stuff. And the chip, just make sure you know how it goes back in. make sure you understand how it looks. So the filled part, the part with the writing on this chip is going inward on the board. So let's see. Okay, it's got a mark here. So the mark of the chip, not the mark of the beast. There's the mark of the chip right there. Let's look at the new chip. New chip has a mark. Yep. New chip has the same mark on it. So just put it in like that. And the heat shield kind of goes toward the back. Well, no, it doesn't. Yeah, make sure the mark is on the left. So what you might want to do is mark the mark. You might want to just remind yourself and just put a mark on here for which way it goes. Put a mark on like that, and you're all set. Okay, now we can start taking it out. Use that for a work surface. Just don't get any solder to the radio. Get a solder sucker and start sucking out solder. Okay, how many pins? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wow, it's got a bunch. 10 pins or so. And it looks like this chip, well, hasn't been out yet. Waiting for my iron to click, saying it's done and ready to go. Check the sucker. It's working. All right, this job really sucks, but something has to suck, right? All right, heat it up, suck it. Heat it up, suck it. Heat it up, suck it out. You know the drill, heat and suck. You want to get it hot enough that it melts, but not too hot you wreck the board. That one looks like it sucked the whole trace off. Yes, it did. That trace goes nowhere. This trace got sucked off too. This might really be hard to get out. All right, once these are done, you can try and loosen each pin with a pair of needle nose to see if you got it out. Some of these pins aren't attached and the foil comes right off the board. Is that a pin right there or not? No, it's not. That's a capacitor. Okay, so what you can do now is just grab the chip and wiggle it, see if it'll loosen up or not. Doesn't look like it's gonna be easy, does it? Yeah, see some of the ones without the with the foil, it's bad or moving around. The rest aren't. Lovely day. Of course, I could just cut these out with wire cutters and try and pull them out one by one. Maybe that's what I should do. Just cut the chip out. This reminds, I think I did this once before. Just cut it out. I can almost bend it out. Oh, there it is, it's out. Right in the trash can it goes. Sometimes you can suck out the remains of these things or just needle nose them out. And just don't wreck the board. Lovely, huh? Lovely. So what's kind of bad about fixing radios is all the soldering and just mumbo jumbo, right? Okay, those are nice and loose. That one came out. That's, oh. Okay, these are coming out, so that's not a bad way to do it. Okay. They're coming out, just the holes now have solder in them. And don't wreck the traces. That one came out, it wrecked the trace. Okay, so what's left? One more, which doesn't go anywhere. Can just yank that one off. Okay, now, if you have holes in the traces, you're all set to push the new one in carefully. This doesn't look all that favorable. Actually, it does. So I'm going through the light here. I can see a bunch of space there. So let's try it out. Here's the new one. Make sure the mark is toward the dot. There's the dot I made right there. So just shove this thing in with the dot, facing the dot. It's pretty easy stuff. Don't push it hard because you might wreck the traces. It should go in gently, which it is. What do you know? Okay, take a look on the other side, see what's going on. Looks like it's going in, sort of. Sometimes you get pushed up traces. There's one pushing up. If most of them are good, maybe just push the thing home. Okay, they're all pretty much in. I just got one bad trace really, but it's probably enough to hold them. Make sure that mark is good to go. Yeah, it's not in backwards, so the mark and mark are good. So now it's time to solder the thing in there. This is the fun part because you're actually putting it back together. Solder. And make sure the pin's pushing through there, right? That one's a ground. This one I think is kind of half broken. Just try and get the thing to solder up. That one's half broken too. Not too fun. Inspect it for the connection. Make sure that everything is looking good. What do you think? Okay. That one is connected. That one looks good. That one's grounded, looks good. That one has no connection. This one is a ground. No connection on that one. That one goes to a capacitor. Right? This one goes to a capacitor. Yep, it looks like we got it. So look for shorts now. No short, no short, no short. Look for shorts. Okay, that's it. It's done. So once you have the chip in, you can put the board back into the Omni 6. All right, and that involves putting it in the way you got it out, sliding it nicely. So when you slide this in, don't really try not touch the chip to loosen it up, but you want to slide it in that way. So you want to pick up these wires and make sure none of them get buried. This one you might want to put on the other side. Any of these you can hide over here. You should do it. A lot of them are not going to move because they've been in this position for years. But you can try. Just kind of move them out of the way. Okay, we're doing pretty good here. We did pretty good. Look at that. Never really tried this before. But get them out of the way. All right, look at that. The wires are out of the way. Put the board back in here. It should slip right in now. It does, sort of. These are hard to get back in usually. So I'm gonna dip in this side first. And see if that'll work. No. Okay, it's got to win first to get into that harness. That's got to happen. I'm hitting something here though. Hitting this. Hitting that. All right. Look at that. There. Now once it's in, make sure it moves around. There's no wires under it. And if that's the case, you can start putting in the screws. Put the screws to it, baby. And as Dr. Sanjay Gupta says, live a better life. So now we're going to screw this board back in here. So far, we're in this 17 minutes of work, is what the camera says on the video. What if I was billing this customer $100 an hour? He wouldn't like it. All right, we got 3 of 6 screws in here. Let's put some more in here. I guess there's 5 screws. We got 4 or 5 going in now. Whoops. Drop the screw. I dislike it when screws drop into the radio somewhere. You gotta take the whole radio, flip it over, shake it. The screw bounces somewhere, hits the floor, hits the rug. That's the downside of fixing these things in an office that was a TV room. All right, I've not been moving the camera around, I apologize. But all the screws are now in, trust me on this. Guess I can move the camera now a bit. I can't seem to get the board into the camera's focus. Some of it. At any rate, I'm going to put all the plugs back in now. There. The screws are all in. So now it's a matter of getting these guys all back in. They're all numbered. So you just want to start putting these back in. $50 goes on $50. 49. So these little pin things here are interesting to get back in. You just want to get in as straight as possible and just push it down, but not too hard to break it. So we got to be careful with these. Anyway, there's 58 right there. $53. Okay, this little one, $52. It goes off on its own right there. And make sure you don't skew these things as far as having a pin off. That can be a bad day. Don't let it be off by a few pins. That's what makes for a bad day. All right, I can't do this with one hand very well. I'm about to give up and just turn off the video. But that would be quitting, right? You might want to see the video to the very end. So I'll do it this way. Putting in 53 here. $55 goes to here. $51 goes here. All right, what's left? 49 goes here. And are they all in? 57 has to go in. Did I get that one in there? Yeah, I did. 47 has to go in. That's the speaker. Make sure that's in right. All right, this one's a power lead. It's got VCC and Reg Plus on it there. Now, all that's left is to put in the coaxes. You gotta put these in straight. And they're hard to get in. There, just don't force them. You'll have a very bad day. These two go to the DSP. 56 goes to here. $54 goes to here for the DSP processing. Wow, got those babies in there. All right, I think there's a few more of these left. 46 and U. U goes right there, I think. I think it's for the FM board or something. One more wire to go. Left hand even and see if that'll work. Yep, it's in. Ouch. See that? I just broke my nail on that damn thing. I tell you, working on these radios is hazardous to my nails and my health. Okay, so Are these all in now? So check your work. Make sure the wires aren't crossed. 5 3's in, 5 0's in, that's in, 46, 5 8's in correctly, 49 is in, 85 is in, 51, looks like 55 is in, that one's getting kind of ratty looking, 47 for the speakers in. I keep showing the wrong board. 43's in, power's in. So I think the radio is good to go. So we can try and power it up now, which will be its own nightmare. So I've been using a small 12 volt power supply for this radio. And the first thing we have to do is power up the power cord. There's the positive wires. Positive on the positive. There we go. Negative on the negative. All right, that's all ready to go. It needs an antenna. Let's move the radio and turn it around. I guess I'll flip it over just in case it works. Okay. All right. Make sure the power is set correctly. 12 volts, max amps. Turn the power off. Power connector for the radio is where? Here it is. Plug it in. Okay, positive on top, usually negative on the bottom. Click, click. Okay, that's in. Antenna goes down here. Antenna should be floating around here somewhere. So, this antenna has had a dummy load on it. We need like a real antenna here. A real antenna from the outside world. And that thing is where? Might be that, no. Well, there's the antenna from the outside world right there. Whatever. Just run over here and see if it goes. And after all this trouble, we can turn the radio on. See what happens. All right. Power on. There's 12 volts. Okay, volume down, power on. Radio came on, volume up. Nothing. Not a damn thing. That's typical of this thing. S meter's going. And we got nothing. So the audio chip is probably okay. It's probably the 4066 chip. I'll usually get some crackle or something out of this thing. Not even a crackle. Well, that's depressing. Unless I did something wrong here. Speakers connected. Speaker is connected in there. Looks like it is. flip the radio on its side. Aha. Okay, so it looks like the DSP is not connected because I was fooling around with it. So let's connect it up. Okay, new 54 goes into 54. New 5.6 into 5.6. A to D, D to A for the DSP. There's the DSP right there. Okay, let's see if that makes a difference. I guess I was debugging this thing, desperately trying to fix anything here. Okay, volume down, power up. Give me some volume. Nope. That's what it's been doing before. So that didn't fix it. I think I got a bad 4066 chip. That's exactly what it's been doing forever. What if I reverse these? See what I mean about these things? Sometimes you just can't get them back in. There it is. Nope, that's how it goes. All right, well, time for a 4066 chip, I suppose. And go from there. Unless we can jump those together and see what that does. If I had a jumper. Let's see if the DSPs work or something. That would be a shame. Okay, jump this. Jump that wire with this one. See what that'll do. I think I tried this before and the jump didn't work, but anyway. Full volume. Yeah, it's got some problems on the IF board. All right, that's my video. Gotta order a 4066. Back to the drawing board. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.